Hi everyone, my name's Alex and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and the carol that I'd like to talk with you about today is What Child Is This? So I'll start with the lyrics and then share a thought. What child is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while the good shepherds watch are keeping? So bring him incense, gold and myrrh, come peasant king to own him. The King of Kings salvation brings, let loving hearts enthrone him. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him laud, the babe, the Son of Mary. So, how does this carol relate to the gospel, to the ministry of Jesus? I think the question itself, what child is this, is one that was asked throughout the centuries. We see in the Gospels, you have people talking about, isn't this the son of Joseph? Who are you? What are you here to do? And it's a question we still ask throughout the world today, right? It doesn't take much time to go on YouTube and see, videos of conspiracy theories or mythic videos that want to all paint Jesus in a new light, versus what the first century, shortly after the crucifixion, Paul wrote in Philippians 2. Where he said about Jesus that being in very nature God, he did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking on the very nature of a servant. Being made in human likeness, and being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross. A unique characteristic of the Christian faith is what theologians use, a fancy word for, called the incarnation. The idea that God became truly human and fully human. That Jesus was fully God, fully man. And how, when we see in Philippians 2, that though he was equal, being in very nature, in essence, God, that he didn't consider that something that ought to be lorded over others or used for his own promotion, right? For his benefit. He didn't come as a king, though that's what he was. He didn't come as a high priest, though that is what he was. And he didn't come to lord it over, but he came to serve. And we see that in the song, What Child Is This? That the holy God, holy immortal, holy mighty, became a baby, right? A baby that was laying on someone else's lap and accepting adoration from Mary, right? There's another idea here that, well, why does this matter? Why does it matter that we have Jesus' teachings? Why does it matter that he became man? Why couldn't we just get the teachings the way that Moses gave them to the Israelites? The teachings came, they would live them out, and that would be good. What is it about God becoming man that really matters? And here I'd like to point out a writer from the 4th century named Athanasius of Alexandria, where he says, "For the solidarity of mankind is such that, by virtue of the word's indwelling in a single human body, the corruption which goes with death has lost its power over all. You know how it is when some great king enters a large city and dwells in one of its houses. Because of his dwelling in that single house, the whole city is honored, and enemies and robbers cease to attack it. Even so is it with the King of all. He has come into our country and dwelt in one body amidst the many. And in consequence, the designs of the enemy against mankind have been foiled, and the corruption of death, which formerly held them in its power, has simply ceased to be. For the human race would have perished utterly had not the Lord and Savior of all, the Son of God, come among us and put an end to death." That when we ask ourselves, what child is this? That we ought to take solace in is the holy God, who humbled himself, taking on the very nature of a servant and a baby. But he did so for our benefit, taking on our human nature and our human form to live among us, show us how to live, and to put death to death once for all. I hope this thought has blessed you. You have a Merry Christmas season. All praise to Jesus Christ.